Alright, today I'm going to show you how I was able to achieve this basic render that I created for a contest. It was a Halloween contest from my favorite mobile game, Art of War 3.
Attention, nuclear launch is detected.
It's an RTS game, you might actually love it. I recommend you should go check it out. Let's start with the trees. I created a cube, extrude to the Z-axis. On the faces on the side, I held Control on the keyboard and then right click to create those three branches. Once I was satisfied with the few branches that I got, I added a subdivision surface, just a low poly tree. For the pumpkin, I created a sphere. I will skip one edge and then select the following edge just like that. After that, Ctrl B to bevel, added a subdivision surface, and then move it inwards a bit. So I used the knife tool to cut out the eyes and the mouth of the pumpkin. I also added a solidify modifier to add some thickness. Okay, let's move to the bat. You can already guess how I was able to achieve this shape. I used a plane, added a mirror modifier, and then I tried tweaking the vertices to make it look like a bat shape. I also added a solidify modifier. For the body, I used this reference. So here I was using the grab brush to create the basic shape of the clothes. It took a little bit of tweaking to get everything here in place. You can see I created the hands separately. For the buildings, I started with a plane and then extruded a bit. Then select two edges and then left click, select bridge. It's just some basic process. When I was done, I added a subdivision surface and then added few loop cuts here and there. Extrude it a bit, then subdivide, select the middle vertex. Before I select the middle vertex, I already turned on proportional editing. Pull it up towards the Z axis. That was pretty much it. This particular building here is the same thing as this one. I just added a mirror modifier and then extrude this particular line here. One of the instructions were to create Captain Pumpkin. So I needed to create a cap, to show that he's a captain. I used the sculpting tools to make this type of shape. And also this one too. So now let's go to the material preview mode. Let me start with this mode. So if you have Node Wrangler on, and when you come to this and shader editor, most Blender users already know this. You Control T on that particular shader, like this emission shader. It will bring out this texture coordinate mapping node and also image texture. So here I use the noise texture with a color ramp to create this kind of an effect. I did similar something to the background here. So as for the buildings, I used two material blocks for each of them. This one was for the windows. Let me use this face for example. And then I'll go here and select this emission material and I click assign. You will see it already has the material now. If I change the color of this emission right here, let me say I change the color of this one, it will affect every one of them because they are all linked to one material. For me to get this glow effect in the head of this pumpkin, I used a sphere and then added an emission shader to it. here on the word materials, I made sure it was reduced to black completely. For the camera, here you can have your own settings, but what I did here, I used depth of field. Then my target was the sphere, the pumpkin head. Then I reduced the f-stop to 0.1. As you can see, if I increase it, you see all these one will come into focus. The other images on the background, which we don't want them to. I also added a couple of lights just to separate the subjects on the background. Alright, this was pretty much it. So as for the result of the contest, I didn't actually win, because when I submitted, they ignored it because they said when I reached out to one of the community managers, he said I used a lot of stock assets. It wasn't allowed, that everything has to be created by hand. I had to record a video. I recorded how I created everything and then sent it to them. But before then, they've already announced the result. So the community manager, he told me, he said, okay, now the result is already set in stone. There's nothing we can do, but we should have added this video earlier. They just gave me a 7 days premium. It's a in-game item in Art of War 3. I was happy with it.